All right, so our first example for Deltamath is find the midpoint of the segment with the following endpoints. So they give us 2 points, and I'm going to take these 2 points and I'm going to label them x1, y1, and this one is x2, y2. Now, according to our notes, the formula for the midpoint, I'm going to call the midpoint M. The formula for it is you're going to add the x values, divide it by 2, and then you're going to add the y values, divide it by 2. And there's a comma in between them because your midpoint is a point. So when you get your answer, you want a point, and the point has an x, comma, y. So you got to have your x values, comma, your y values. Let's put it all together now. We have, I'll just do yellow first. So we have our x1 over here. I'm just going to highlight that. Our x1 was -10 plus our x2, -5. Oops. Okay, I'm just going to write it out first and I'll highlight it later. So our x1 plus x2 divided by 2, comma, and then our y1 is right over here, 2 plus our y2, -1, divided by 2. All right, so now I'm going to highlight them as you guys write it out. So we have our x1 plus x2 was these yellow numbers, our x values. And our y values were over here and over here. So we added them together. All right, so hopefully you can see what happened there. And hopefully that was enough time to write it out. This was our -10, 2, this was -5, -1. Okay. All right, so then simplifying, -10 plus -5, that becomes -15 over 2. And then 2 plus -1, that becomes 1 over 2. Any questions?
So then how would we like put it in the thingy-majiggy, like where we submit the answer?
Yeah, I'll get to that. Sorry, we weren't done yet. So then I know most people are, it's easier to type a decimal, so we're going to turn this into decimals, okay? So -15 divided by 2 is -7.5, comma, 1/2 is 1 divided by 2, that's 0.5. So what we're going to type in is this thing, -7.5, comma, 0.5. So before I type it in, does anybody have questions on how we got here? Okay, so I'm going to type this in, -7.5, comma, 0.5. Parentheses, -7.5, comma, 0.5, parentheses. So like that, this is how you would type it in.
Ms. Jade, how do you get 7.5 and 0.5?
Okay, let me submit this first because I don't know how else to keep that there. Okay, so we got the -7.5 because when you added together the two x values, you added -10 and -5. So those are the yellow numbers. So the yellow numbers are -10 and -5. We added it together and then we divide by 2. So we get -15 divided by 2. -15 divided by 2 is -7.5.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the same thing with the 0.5. You just add the green numbers, divide by 2. Okay. Let me check the time. What time is it? Where is my clock? Okay, 9:21. Cool. Let's do one more of this, and then sorry, I know I said 3, but then the time is always so short. So let's label this as our x1, y1, x2, y2, and then we have our formula x1 plus x2 divided by 2. Just add together the x values. Y1 plus y2 divided by 2. Just add together the y values. So let's do it. Our x values, let's add it together. Our x1, -2, plus our x2, 2. divided by 2, comma, y1, 7, plus a y2, 3, divided by 2. So let me just do some highlighting really quickly. We have our x values that appeared over here, the yellow numbers. Oops, I totally did that wrong. My bad. Here's our x values. There we go, that's better. Our x values, and then we have our y values. Simplifying now, we got -2 plus 2 is 0. 7 plus 3 is 10. Almost there. Now we just gotta simplify again. 0 divided by 2. Anything, or 0 divided by anything is just 0. But you could type it in a calculator if you need to be sure. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So we type 0, 5 into our Deltamath. Any questions on how we got here? So just for clarification, you add the yellow numbers, divide by 2. That's how we got our 0. And for the 5, we added our green numbers, divided by 2. That's how we got 5. So I don't see any questions. I'm going to enter this in now. Parentheses 0, 5 parentheses, and that's it. Submit. Okay, and then so that's it for this section. If you go back, I do want to show you at least one example for simple proportions, okay? So once again, if my video is too fast or you're lagging, I am recording it, so hopefully that helps. So we are going to solve for x. So in order to solve for x, we're going to need to do the butterfly method. And in order to do the butterfly method, I'm going to just say that this negative belongs to the top. Okay, so what we have here is -4 over 33 equals 32 over x. Now, if you wanted to, you could put that negative on the bottom, okay? But just for the sake of my notes, I'm putting the negative at the top. But this is literally the same thing as 4 over -33 equals 32 over x. Both of these are okay. I'm just going with this one so that I could show you an example, okay? So from here, you're going to do some cross multiplication. So take these two and multiply them, you get -4x equals, and then we're going to take these two, multiply them, use your calculator because I don't know about you, but I don't know what 32 times 33 is. So let's do it. 32 times 33, and I get 1,056. So I multiply them. And now to solve for x, all you have to do is divide by -4. Divide by -4 so that these cancel out. And then you get x is equal to -264. And that will be your answer. You just type -264. Any questions? Okay, I'm going to type it in. So -264. So you don't have to type x equals. Don't type x equals. All right. With that, class is technically over. So you guys are free to go, and I'll end the recording here.